Hello and welcome to Know Thyself Soul Elements. Um, I'm Leanne, this is Ion, and we are joined with our good friend Christina. So today we are picking up and talking about the free will, and we're going to learn about um, how the free will functions, where the free will comes from, how we can use it in a healthy way, um, to help us guide through navigate life, basically. So,
Yes.
would you like to say anything to
Yes.
start off?
Yeah, it is our free will that we have a technical difficulty and we're late a little bit and please apologize us.
Yes, we had some issues
It's
getting getting online. All the electronics are acting funky today, so forgive our electronics and ourselves for being late.
the nucleus of the free will is intention. So its intention today, our free will today, was to be a little late because he knows how to make decisions for us. You know, a free will makes decisions for us always. We're just thinking that we're making decisions, so therefore we only actually have to understand the decision is made. We can change the decision by logical thinking, having a couple of choices. Also, free will going to give us the choices. So let's get into the free will actually.
Yes.
Uh,
Where does the free will come from?
free will is a civilization that their very their very density is hard on like a carbon or like a diamond, like and there are spread throughout the universe, not only this galaxy but throughout the universe. And we picking up every soul. Every soul is picking up is picking up a little bit of piece
A
of
piece.
their
So they're
civilization.
so they're so huge. Imagine if, just shedding skin cells as a human. Those little pieces, if it was free will, those little pieces would be parts that our souls would pick up as we're traveling through the universe. And those pieces of the free will civilization are our guide, our soul satellite. So it's like our higher self, um, to help guide us through, to guide our soul through this life specifically, but even before we build a body.
Way before we build a body, we build this body. But free will is not hard, in the universe for a soul. Free will is not hard to find. It's being found everywhere. It's all up to the soul's nucleus, which is the truth, the main truth of the nucleus of the soul, to have not exactly the same vibration with that piece of the free will, but close to it. So obviously the soul, that absolute truth nucleus thought, obviously pick up the honesty and the patience. So we'll pick up a free will that is close to what he needs for that specific soul to become a soul. Once he picks up the free will, it will, this component will become a soul. A thought, honesty, and patience, picking up the free will, and now you can call it a soul. It has directions, it has everything it needs right now to go through the journey to pick up other elements that the soul needs to get to a maturity, whether a plant or a fish or an animal, or a maturity to actually human being, and even more than human being. I don't know the elements for the soul for the celestials. That's
Yeah,
might be different. They can have more
they could have some
elements,
extra components.
elements, not
Oh
components.
yeah, elements. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are elements to a soul. But the celestial beings, they don't like to be called angels. They like to be called celestial. They're not utterly sentience, so they like to be called celestials.
Well, I would imagine that would probably be partly because the angels have been mislabeled
Mm,
in many ways. I would imagine.
yeah,
Do you think?
the angels are all kinds of, but um,
I mean, fallen angels, so that lumps that the celestials into a bucket. They may not want to
They
be
have
as
they no they don't
they
have
don't.
they have no the civilizations, the elder civilization out there, the old civilization, the light civilization and the sound civilization and the civilization of the free will, their communities, they're big. They don't know about the falling angels. They don't know about the angels like, but they are celestial. They're not. They're out in a universe. They don't care only about this galaxy. They have many galaxies to care about,
Yeah.
and many ways of dealing with the structure of our universe. They constantly have to maintain the fabric of our universe. Very important to the sound civilization, especially to maintain the fabric of our universe, which is a hexagonal thing.
I hear the sound civilization all the
And
time.
you have to do that. I see the light civilization. One of the sound civilization, celestial girl, if I can't call it girl, I don't know, guide me through with my free will and everything since I was 6 months old.
Yeah.
So that's where I got all this so-called information. That's not really an information because every time I ask her anything, she's looking at me with a smirk on her face. So it's a little frustrating. It took me a long time to put all the puzzles together. So, but that's where I got it from her. So anyway, let's talk about free will. The prime components of the free will. The free will is made out of power. Obviously, its density is hard, and it's made out of power. It's almost indestructible. Free will and the soul, your soul or everybody's soul has a free will, and they're together, married together for the rest of the eternity. They're not gonna choose another soul. We're going. This soul is gonna get another free will, or the free will divorce the soul and get another soul. Or no, it's not. That those two are made for eternity. I'm talking eternity in the universe. I'm not talking lifetime
Yeah.
or after this lifetime. Our soul and our free will is gonna go back where we come from and start over again. The main purpose of the soul to build a body, whether it's an animal or anything on this earth or any other planet, is warmth. It's very cold there, and the soul can sustain the chill of the universe,
Hmm.
but you would prefer to be some sort of condition,
Homeostasis. It
homeostasis.
wants to be comfortable.
And that's where the free will is in charge of in the entire homeostasis of the soul. So the soul is requiring something, the free will would make the decision how and where and when to get it. Um, the free will components of the components of the free will,
Wait, can I? Can we say the function first?
sure.
I think it's very important.
The nucleus of the free will is intention, and the function of the free will is permission.
Permission. This is what they all want. They want our permission through all the movies and
Well, let's not get
I know, but just to highlight for a second,
there.
and then we'll go back to it later. But
That's the function of the free will.
so permission is very powerful and
Yeah.
very important.
When they say you sold your soul, they didn't mean the soul. They mean the free will. Your free will has been taken. Whether sign a piece of paper and where whether you're looking at something and you give it a permission just by looking at it, or listen to a song and you give it a permission by just listening to it.
But I guess in a way that would still be your soul if they're married. You know, the free will and the soul are
That's
stuck together. It kind of
that's what I
goes
was
They're
together.
not stuck together.
about to ask.
They are not stuck together. No, no. The soul and
She was gonna ask the same question.
You
yeah.
said that
Okay.
they're
That's
married,
so. The
basically. That they
soul
so you
and the
sell
free
one, you
will.
sell the other.
I'm sorry.
If you steal the free will, then the soul would be attached to it, right?
They don't literally steal it. They steal
The
the
power.
juice inside, the
Yeah.
juice inside the free will they're taking, the the confirmation, the permission of it, the recognition of, yeah, you are mine. That's what that's what marriage is too. That they put a ring on some people's
Your
fingers,
finger.
that the confirmation you're mine, you're ringed, you're closing here. So it's a permission given, no matter how you're gonna do it, whether with words or with your eyes or with your ears, or no matter how you're gonna give it permission.
Yeah.
So that's they taking the free will as the juice of it. They don't take it from the soul. You're still making decisions with the free will because it's your higher self is going around you. But certain permission that is being acquired uh, from your free will, whether contractual with a signature or any other ways, the permission, the free will was the juice is being taken out.
It
You
kind of
don't have the liberty to do what you wanted to do.
reminds me of the Dark Crystal, and they were sucking all the soul, or the, I forget exactly what they called it, but very interesting to line
That's
it up. Is taking a part of the
the
living essence, sucking their essence from them, basically.
that's the living essence is life,
Right.
but this is the free will, which has nothing to do with the living essence.
Right.
It's the spirit and the consciousness inside the soul that creates the living essence.
Right.
But the free will, it's a satellite. That's all. But it's our satellite. They
Hmm.
take a little bit out of it, but they don't take in the whole. The whole. It's like the moon around the earth.
Right.
So they take, if you take a rock from the moon, doesn't mean you took the whole moon from going around the earth.
And I think it's also important to point out that our free will and our will power are different. So our free will is our soul's satellite, whereas our willpower is our own. Um,
Ambition.
yeah, it's a now thing, like our own ambition, kind of. Yeah, I'm trying to find another word, but it's not coming to me at the moment.
You, yeah.
But so we have our free will, which is our soul satellite, and has all the powers of. And we're going to go through those in just a second. But then we have our willpower, that I think people confuse sometimes. But
Yeah, that's a difference between willpower, like you just plow it through to get it on the other side, to
right,
the other side of it. You just have that ambition and determination for something that you want to achieve or accomplish. But that has nothing to do with the free will. Actually, sometimes it goes against your free will because the free will sometimes makes,
the free will is going to keep us on our fate. So our line of fate that we have are fated to be on is
yes.
going to keep us there, whether we realize that's what's going on or not. So, even times when we're going off on our own path with our own will, against our free will, then the free will is going to eventually pull us back to where we need to be. Whether we recognize it at the time is entirely up to us, but that's generally the concept.
So to reiterate everything again, the soul and the free will are the only two entities. They are before the creation of the body. Those two entities creates these bodies, so they're before. Those two are before conception. Um, the nucleus of the free will is intention. Everything that you intend to do is coming from your free will. All your intentions, all of them, regardless what you think or make sense of something, or it doesn't matter what your thought process is. Your intention comes from the free will. Your thought process is just trying to understand those intentions or decisions. That's all it does. Your intentions and decisions are made by the free will long before you can actually have the aha moment. Once you have the aha moment, it's like, oh, I got an idea. Yes, you have an idea it was already intended for you, picked up by the free will and give it to you for some purpose you don't even know, right? Right.
Yeah. And
So
isn't that like,
the free will's nucleus is intention, and as we said, the function of it is permission. So you better not help somebody just for the good heart from your good heart. If you don't ask for permission, you think you're doing something good if you help somebody, and that person again gonna get upset with you because no, I didn't ask you to help me.
yeah,
Why? Because you didn't. sh- He or she didn't give you the permission.
infringement on free will of
Infringe.
others.
Yeah.
So we have to, it's a two-way street. We have to be careful what kind of, if we're asking for permission to do certain things, even if it's supposed to be helpful, everybody has their own little quirks. So,
Mhm.
um,
The main power. That's the free will works with power. That's the its main function of the permission also. But the main power of the free will is decision. After intention, which is the nucleus, the power of permission is the first power.
no, power of decision.
Power of decision.
Yeah, you said power of permission.
No, power of decision is the first power that the
Yeah.
free will is. I'm sorry. The second power that the free will has is the power of choice. You might think you have a choice, but the free will, after makes the choices for you, you kind of look at them, and the free will was going to decide what's best for you. Even if you go against it, you're going to find lots of blocks and roadblocks that is not going right because you try to find your own destiny. The free will doesn't agree with that.
Did you have a question, Christina?
So you have it, but you don't really have it. You
Well,
have the
it's kind of like
power
we have
to
it
you
and
have
the
the
free will is
power
maybe,
to make the decision even if it's
yeah,
wrong. But it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you.
right. But if we understand it better, we can flow with those powers a lot better because we understand, okay, there's a block here. Maybe we're not supposed to do this, So go back to tuning into ourselves and knowing ourselves is going back to that part to, okay, free will, what are we supposed to do?
What Christina said, if you really underline it, the power of free will is sometimes, even though you think is wrong, you think is wrong
There's the
because you're
mind.
thinking with your ego. You're processing that thoughts with your ego, and your thinking is wrong.
And trying to reason with your mind.
But yes, but the free will knows what's best for you. So in the end, you find out that actually what you were thinking was wrong, not the free will, the way the decision was made for you. And you might regret it because you didn't do it that way. So you just got, how is that called? Like learn to the hard way,
Yeah, learn something the hard way.
learn something the hard way. That's how you learn.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like if someone gets laid off from their job and they think it's the end of the world, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to them, only to find out, a couple, 2, 3 months later, they get offered the best job in the world. They couldn't see it at the time, but the free will was closing a door to be able to open something even better for the soul. So, what is better for you? What is better for your well-being? You might not know it at the time, but you'll see it eventually. So anytime we
You gotta go with the flow on
yeah,
certain, just with a gut instinct.
yeah,
That's
which is another one of the
mm.
powers.
um, so the power, the second power the free will has is the power of choice.
Mhm.
But let me explain. Is the second powerful? Like the power of choice, the free will give you a choice, but it's already made a decision. It will allow you to kind of navigate through those choices a little bit because later on you understand better why the free will made the decision for you.
Yeah.
That's why it's going to give you a little bit of choices to kind of understand why he made that decision
I
for
was
you.
gonna say that earlier. It's like the free will's waiting for us to figure it out.
So figure
You
out
know, like
it is.
whenever you figure this out,
Yeah,
we'll continue this journey. But
yeah.
first, you got to
So
catch up
again,
and understand this part so we can add on.
you have a choice, but you don't really have a
Go ahead.
choice. Oh, I said it.
Yes, you no. You do have a choice.
You do and you
And
don't.
sometimes
But
you
I
go
just
against your free will because your ego goes,
Well, think of
right.
it like think of it from a parental standpoint. So you offer your child three different choices. You're hoping they're going to go for the best one, but you gave them a choice and you know that none of them are going to really hurt them, but they're going to learn something in the process. It's kind of the same thing in my opinion.
it is.
So,
It
yeah,
is exactly like that.
it's kind of like we have a parent with us stuck to us all at all times. Hey, this is not right over here, but you can choose from one, two, or three. Which one are you going to choose? Because I already decided how this is going to play out for you as a whole. Let's see if you've learned anything yet. You
Exactly
know,
what it is
test
as
after
parents
test.
or children. But you already made the decision
Yeah.
and you're gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be like the child's gonna be against it.
The child thinks he's made his own choice, but
He knows better.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
a perfect example. So
So
the third power is that comes. Yes, go ahead, Christina.
what I was gonna say is
We have a
we have these choices, and yet, so how are these bad acts committed against our fellow neighbor? I guess is where I want to swing this to for a second. Do you see what I mean? So what you're saying is free will has already made the decision that this is what these people are going to do. Why would we do that? Or is that something completely different?
Well,
that's their choice.
yeah, I mean, every soul is different and has different information. So their free will that is stuck to that soul is going to resonate with that particular vibration or, um, vibration of that soul. Whatever is absolute truth for that. And it works and harmonizes with that soul. So being different souls, their fate line might be completely different than someone else's. So I mean, you've got everything has to be balanced, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Like, everything has to be harmonized within its own vibration. So
I'll put it this way: if everybody would be the same, then we have the same fate.
that wouldn't be very interesting.
Not only that, but we would have already know what the fate is because for 2 million years we would have had the same fate. But because the soul has a different vibration, every single soul in a universe, gazillions of trillions of soul, has a different vibration, and it picks up a specific free will with its specific way of being towards its vibration. He has a line of fate that we're gonna have to do a diagram, the line of fate, and then the ego trying to get into the line of with its own
She's like, please.
opinions, with its own opinions, trying to squeeze their destiny to create its own destiny, and it's getting so hard, and the fate is putting you back, and destiny is like you just going against it, and it's nothing working because you
Yeah,
go
I'm a
against each
visual
other.
learner,
There
so
Button
is
heads.
nothing working. Yeah, but that's
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. So
we're
having
gonna
our visuals will be really
most
helpful
definitely.
once we get better at screen sharing stuff and electronics cooperate with us.
yeah
So it's a work in progress, but we'll get there. I promise. We'll figure it out one day and get it all working correctly.
we need a lot more equipment. We need
Yeah.
stuff to get like to get my get my own slot.
He wants his own camera.
Need my own camera. I don't want to share it with you.
Ah, come on.
I am your free will, my little soul.
Oh, really?
I made a decision. No, I'm just kidding. No. Um,
All right. So, what's the next power of?
the next power is the power of inspiration. So I was already brushing on a little bit, like
Mhm.
the aha moment. You think you got the aha moment, but it's already the free will already had that for you. And there are other pieces of information given the same information, brand new information, inspiring information, given it to other souls too on
Well,
this earth, not only you.
talking about breathing in thoughts and souls, as we breathe in information, I mean, even if you put it in about spirit breathed or inspiration breathed, like
In
it's
spirit, breathe.
it's breathed in through
Breathe thoughts, they're not yet with, they're not yet a soul. They're just thoughts
containing information.
containing one bit of information. Very important. Is only one bit of information. The thought.
Mhm.
Then, all together is going to get more bits of information. But when we breathe souls, that means we breathe in some free will too with that soul. He has a free will. If he doesn't have a free will, it's only a thought. If he has that thought has a free will, that means he's a soul. So that's what makes the difference between a thought and a soul. It's the free will.
So how does our free will interact with these other free wills if it is a soul that we've inhaled or
It
absorbed in some way?
is up to our pancreas to decipher which one it is and which one is going to get rid of, which one is going to keep, and which one is going to breed at the end. And the soul with the free will is going to go through the process of the father, the
Yeah.
earthly father, go through the process to and get to the maturity of that soul with the free will.
Hmm.
So if he's not a soul, that means he's a thought. A thought with a free will would make it a soul.
Right.
So I think we explained more, but
Yeah.
it's good to just keep on saying that a thought with a free will obviously has two elements to it, for sure, honesty and patience.
Patience.
So those two elements is not going to create a body, so it's going to be rejected straight out by the pancreas. So those two elements only just it's going to be rejected by the body. It has to be a mature soul with all eight elements, divine elements, and obviously it's going to have a free will. The fourth power of the free will is the power of intuition. That's kind of like a branch of inspiration, and from that is not inspiration, but you're intuitively feeling something. There's something, whether good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's regardless.
Hmm.
It's the free will knows it. He knows whether it's good or bad to get you in or to protect you from.
Well, I mean, intuition and calling our free will our higher self, it feels a lot of sense in that aspect.
Yeah, that usually is intuition is manifested in is it in a gut feeling, in a gut brain
Yeah.
intuition,
The gut feeling.
and instinct is in a heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So instinct is in a heart because it has a sprinkle of emotion, and intuition is in a gut brain. We're gonna go to the body, so we're gonna specifically make sure that every element inside the body has dual function. Also, we have a brain inside our gut. We have a brain with neurons and everything inside the heart, and we have the bigger brain inside our head. So those three brains, they're collaborating, they're cooperating with the free will.
Mm-hmm.
The the fifth component,
Power.
the fifth component of the free will is the power of instinct, which we touched up on it, is located or manifested, to say, within around the heart, which is closer to the soul, the instinct of things. It has a sprinkle of emotions, so just you kind of feel it, you emote to it. Um, Also, that goes hand in hand with the function of the free will is the power of integrity. Integrity is has to do with the boundary of the aura of one being. It has an aura, the way that rotates, the free will rotates. It creates an aura, a bubble, and that has to be integral. It can't be broken. Once it's broken, it can hurt the soul or it can hurt the body.
Integral meaning whole. So like it's
Integrity does not mean loyalty. Integrity means a whole,
like a wholeness.
a wholeness, a boundary, a membrane, enclosed. That's what integral mean. And it has the power, the free will has the power because it forms that boundary by rotating around, whether the soul or after creation of the body, it rotates around the body, constantly trying to fix up, the boundaries, holes. They're very important. Those holes are very important. Should not have holes in our boundaries, but we can't help it. It's friction, it's air outside, and we're gonna get holes in our boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
which allows the photonic splinters to get in from the atmosphere and everything, and it's gonna create pain in the neck, pain in the ass, pain everywhere. So
She
whatever,
knows about the pain in the neck lately. Don't you,
that's your
Christina?
aura. Your aura has been broken. And, you put a band-aid on it on your body. You put a band-aid on your body, is gonna create whatever you have the pain. You will not allow. It's still gonna broken. The aura is still broken, but you're not gonna allow the photonic splinters to get in as much because you have another layer of protection. So uh, if the aura is in front of you, where you can have somebody to tell the best way to fill in the gap of your aura is
Spit.
spit, spit on it
Saliva.
towards that hole because you see the hole, you feel the hole. Where is it? Here? Okay, the hole is got to be here somewhere.
Or like the cats, lick your hand.
The cats too with the spit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best way to fix your aura. There are other ways. The hands are very powerful. The palms very powerful for healing. If you practice a little more, you're gonna get better results. So it takes 1,000 hours of practice to get some good results. But the hands, everybody's hands have the power to heal.
So what you're
Okay, one
saying
second.
is
If you
I need
get some pain, you put your hand on it.
so I need to spit on my hand and rub it on my neck and I'll feel better? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
Lord.
yes, but the spit alone, you don't have
All
to
right.
spit it on your hand.
I'll try.
The spit alone,
Okay.
if like somebody else who spit on your back where it hurts, you will feel better. You will feel better. Yes,
I don't want people spitting
that's.
on me though.
I
Yeah. Well, you don't have to have other people too. If you, I know
I'll,
you're a little
I'll give you an example.
spitophobic.
I know, but I'll give you an example. It also breaks. Speed also break or it depends on the intention of the free will person that speeds on you. For example, what's the main thing on the baseball players to do to spit on some to just they come face with anger. They breaks your heart. It makes you so angry. Why would they make you that angry? Because it didn't it didn't shoot a bullet or anything. It just you know but it makes you so angry because it breaks your aura. It breaks the integrity of it, the integral of your boundaries of your aura.
But if you get permission first,
You
and
can do
it's
it.
done with
Then
loving intention, then it
then he's not
has
gonna get angry.
exactly.
He's not gonna
So
get
it's more
Spit
anger,
on me,
between,
man.
aggression.
yeah,
That's a
Feel me.
between the intention and the permission. That's very important. You don't want to just walk up to anybody and do this. This is not. We're not encouraging that behavior, but permission and intention is very
we don't
important.
have to encourage anything. They already do it.
I know.
We look at the baseball players. You look at people that
Well, I think
they
half
get angry on a field.
actually, when they're angry, half the baseball players have some dip in their mouth, so there's part of the spitting process.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to add that one in there because it is a thing. Chewing tobacco or something.
Um, the seventh power of our free will, our higher self,
I like this one.
is power of promise.
Promises are very powerful. Promises to ourselves, promises to other people. Our free will keep those promises. So be careful with your promises.
Yeah, well,
Be intentional in your promises.
yeah, have intentions. Most of the people that World War II were going to war, soldiers that promised to the loved ones that they're coming back home, they can do whatever they want. A bullet will not touch them because they promise they will be back home. And the free will protect them, will just direct them somehow to keep them safe to get back home because they have to keep their promise. The free will itself, their higher self, will keep their promise. They always would keep the promise. It is another aspect of the promise. If you keep breaking your promises during your life, then it means nothing anymore. The words mean nothing anymore. So you better just try to be in time or try to be the way you said you're going to be. Whatever you said you're going to do and get and accomplish, whatever you said it, that's considered a promise. So if you're not going to be on time or you're not going to do what you said you're going to do, you're breaking the promise. And you're breaking it once, you're breaking it twice, then the words are in vain. They're not going to be taken in consideration.
Well, and that has a chain reaction to our reputation, our trust, our character as a whole. So, and that does not do anything beneficial for building any kind of relationships.
That's correct, but I'm talking about free will.
I know.
To be careful not breaking promising constantly because the promise that you actually need to make at one point is not going to be taken in consideration. So
Yeah.
the free will will be like, oh, okay, is this one of those?
Oh, you're
Or
serious this time?
we can't, no, it's just,
Yeah.
we can. It gets really not there. But yeah.
Yeah.
So the promise is beautiful, important, and try to keep it as much as you can. Sometimes the free will has some other things in mind for it, and you're going to be late. But this is one in a blue moon. You
Yeah.
oversleep in the morning or something. You're going to be late at work or something. But once a year, once every 2 years,
Yeah.
I was late once at work. That's it. For the past, what, since you past 3 years,
Yeah.
4 years now, once,
Yeah.
you know. But that was, I overslept a little. And I was late for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had only 6 minutes, time period to
But
grace time.
it's not a normal pattern. So
No, it's just, and he actually helped me to get there as fast as possible, my free will, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, and
So, Mr. Man Smith would like to know if
okay,
our
sorry
lives
guys.
are
And then the
already
last
predetermined or predestined.
thank you, Christina. Mr. Our lives already predetermined or predestined? From our free will aspect, I would say.
Neither.
So, I mean, we
Thank
have
you
our.
so much for your question.
Yeah, thank you. We have. I mean, we have our fate line.
That's the first. I gotta take a picture of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a fun question, man.
All
I'm
right.
so excited.
We're good.
Yeah. No, our life is not predetermined and it is not predestined either. Our destiny is our ego trying to control our destiny, constantly trying to think that they know better. The ego is it's a healthy ego I'm talking about, but it's constantly through the righteousness, wrong and right, making sense, judging, logical thinking. Our psyche try um, to destine to make our own destiny. Sometimes it's good, you get some accomplishments, but it's getting too far from the fate of your fate.
Because I would say we have our individual fate, right?
One second.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fate itself, you might say, is going to be predetermined, but it's not exactly. As is sometimes is uh, um, the free will makes decisions at the moment, as like time or a bad time in our life, or even the, the purpose of our life is joy, the ultimate purpose of life. So the free will try to get us into that 0 point of joy as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily predetermined, even though we live on a fate, trying to control our destiny, but is something like flexible. If we keep into the zone, like we say to the quarterbacks, I'm in a zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a zone. So
Excuse me.
yeah, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you stay in a zone like a quarterback, nothing that you know, it's everything there, then you're gonna have this not free will is gonna help you to get there. Is that predetermined that you're gonna win a Super Bowl just because you're a quarterback in a zone? I don't know, but the free will try to get you there. So you everybody wants to win the Super Bowl. Everybody's gonna stay in a zone. Everybody's gonna stay in a zone. And is she okay?
Yes.
It's just
Children.
yeah. Sorry about it. Um, everybody's gonna stay in a zone, but it's not predetermined, and it's not predestined. Destiny is just you try to control your own fate, so it's called destiny. So sometimes it's good, depends on your calculation, your planning, your expectations, and we go to the mind. It depends on a hope. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's like you go too far out from your fate line that you can even get sick. Yes. I hope you answered the question.
Yeah, let us know
And
if you need further explanation.
yeah, we'll be
Thank
more
you,
than
mister.
yeah, more than happy to,
Excuse me.
you know.
Goodness.
So he's neither predetermined or neither predestined. Even the fate. Eh,
Gotta go with the flow.
you got to go the flow.
Harmonize.
Free will make the flow. It's not that flexible because it's very harsh, but it's gonna go with the flow. Even throughout the entire universe, just free will and the soul, they're going the flow with the flow of directing that soul through the universe to get to the source, the main source, this bright source that the universe. Okay.
You're gonna get the.
Yeah,
We have a visual.
we have a visual. this is so-called the universe. My people might have it
The
that
blue is the universe.
that- some people might have that snake eating its own tail, and this is the source of the universe. This is gazillion of trillions of thoughts and souls inside here that created the whole entire universe. And this blue uh, uh, um, kundalini of the universe is, it actually looks similar to this. This is our universe, and this is one little sparkle in here somewhere. It's our galaxy. Inside that little sparkle, it's our solar system somewhere, and inside the solar system is our planet. So the universe from is flowing from the source all the way to all everywhere, going right back to the source. What are we today? As the Asians calculated, we are right at the point of 16.4 billion years. Um, the thing is, that's exactly half. We kind of crossed a little bit of half of it, like in October 28, 2011, we crossed the half. But that's a little
A blip in our
blip in
time.
our in the
And
time
the
of
whole
billions.
time.
And when I'm saying billion, 16.4 billion years, half of it, I'm talking Earth years. It's not universal years. It's not calculated into the universal years.
Yeah.
So the ancestor calculated in Earth years. So we have another 16.4 billion Earth years to get back to the source, our galaxy, which is beautiful. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
I mean, can we do it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the source. We're probably gonna get back to the source before the
Yeah.
galaxy will. But anyway, that's the way the universe, our universe, look with a source, a huge source. I mean, compared to our sun, is no comparison. Is bigger than anything that you can possibly imagine uh, as constellation or galaxy or anything.
Yeah.
The source itself. So the sound civilization working on a frame, on a fabric of this universe, constantly to maintain it because the universe is inside the cosmos. So it's a lot of friction and pressure, and it breaks the fabric. It breaks that what is called a silver line. So it breaks that. So the sound civilization is constantly, their purpose is to fix the lines. And the light civilization it gave us the light through
Built
suns, through other means, but
stars, suns.
stars, yeah, exactly, other means too. But that's what the light civilization do. Free will civilization is just to make sure it's like an arbiter. It's like make sure everything is okay. It's like
Are you guys all on track?
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, mister. He said, sounds good. Appreciate your knowledge.
Okay, anytime, anytime. So when I say we go back to the source, it has nothing to do with our sun, our universe, or our anything else. It all has to do with the source, the white spot. This the white spot is more like yellowish, but I couldn't find a
A yellow golf
yellowish
ball.
gold. Yeah, so that's yeah. So we're going back to the source. That's where we're getting the compassion and forgiveness is from the source. Is not
Oh, the compassion and forgiveness.
yeah, it is.
Beautiful
It's hard to find in
humans.
a universe compassion and forgiveness. There might be fragments that left over from the souls that were lazy and be decomposed and so on. But the forgiveness and compassion is from the source. Yeah. So
Do you want to hit on the last power?
the last power is obviously its function. The last power is power of permission.
Yes.
and its function with it. Um, Very important to ask for permission. Very important. Ask everybody for permission. Um, it's gonna look really good for you if you ask for permission. You don't have to be sorry all the time, but ask for permission
Seems
and
like that fits into the consideration and ethics in our soul, the awareness as well. I mean, they work together.
they work.
You're being considerate with your ethics to ask for permission with your free will.
Those are strengths. Those powers of the free will are strengths that are cooperating or collaborating with the soul. Once, I mean, the free will you're picking up, it has those strengths, but he become more powerful when he gets to cooperate with the soul. Now he has a soul, he has a mate,
Mm-hmm.
and he works together. It's friendship. It's the best friends for eternity, for another 16.4 billion years.
Stuck together like glue forever?
Yeah, yeah,
Like for real, for real?
yes. So,
Yeah.
um, and thank you, Christina, for placing that thank you note. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um,
this is the soul. We're gonna go through it again, and
well, the free will that guides the soul, yeah.
the free will. I'm sorry, and we'll appreciate if anybody else have any questions. Christina, you have any questions or?
Comments.
Okay, one more thing I want to say to Mister, I guess. Okay, is our life are already predetermined or predestined? There is a soft spot for that too, as in Akasha, as the function of Akasha is within two um, elements, I call them, or something, is serendipity and synchronicity. So when these two power energies are, we don't yet understand the synchronicity of things. Our mind doesn't grasp like how the women synchronize their periods and how the clocks synchronize themselves, and I mean biological and mechanical things.
Yeah.
So we don't understand that, but that's a beautiful thing. And the predetermined part of it, Mister, is that serendipity would give you that. I mean, when serendipity gets in join hands with your free will, is total absolute power to make things happen into that situation of because that serendipity is more powerful than any free will ever. Yes. So both of them, synchronicity and serendipity, will join together in Akasha and give you joy.
Which is the ultimate purpose in life,
It's
is to find joy.
a little blimp of joy, not Akashic joy.
Not some overjoy, huh?
No overjoy. Overjoy is not good. No.
It's all gotta be balanced somehow.
Do you have a question, Christina? She didn't hear me.
I don't think she does, but there's a slight delay.
No, I
but
don't
that's
have
okay.
any.
It's a slight delay. Okay.
Speak up and interrupt if you have any comments, questions. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
No
So I
worries.
just wanted to mention that the serendipity it affects us to some level on Earth, but is a lot more into the cosmos. That's where it's coming from. It's not necessarily into our universe. It has fragments in our universe. It has fragments in our galactic, in our galaxy, in our solar system, obviously, but it has a lot more abundant. It is a lot more abundant in our cosmos. Serendipity is Akashic serendipity, and I mean, if we live on that serendipitous life,
Serendipitous.
serendipitous life,
Mm.
we're never gonna go away from the fate as a predetermined thing. Yeah, because it's more serendipity is more powerful than your free will. So when the free will is gonna try to make a request to the serendipity to help it with a promise or with a permissions or with making decisions. Free
Mhm.
wills can do that, can make requests for serendipity. That's a living thing, serendipity. It's making the request to help, you know. So,
Tell them,
yes.
not me.
Oh, okay. So that's, I want to just say, so it predetermined. Well, if you're going to be within the serendipity part, yeah, it's hard to get out of your fate. So you better get out of your way.
We
Because,
get in our own way a lot, don't we?
but predestined, no, that's an ego job to to control your destiny. It's good. Sometimes it's good. Your ego is healthy. I love my ego. I just love it. It's just I wouldn't know any better. I wouldn't know what's right and wrong otherwise without
Yeah, it's a powerful tool.
it. It's yeah. Use it as power. I wouldn't know the beauty.
So next week we are going to dive into the physical body and how the soul starts to grow our body from the father and the mother getting together. Um, and then I think since we started a little late today and we went over a hair, we should probably wrap it up for today. But are there any closing remarks you want to make?
um, I think I talked the free will.
I think
Um,
you covered it pretty good.
covered pretty well. I talked about it though. Um, I would love to have more questions like Mister
Yeah.
to make it easier for me. Just because I can give you the components of everything. I can
Well, it helps.
talk about them.
It helps with the understanding better, having a conversation
Uh,
and being able to talk
to
through,
not only that, but all I want to do is to give it to people,
and then their perception.
and it's a tool for them to use.
Right.
And the better they include it, all these tools, they live through the soul. They
Hmm.
use the ego. They use their mind. It's very reasonable. The mind is there for you to use it.
Yeah.
The spirit is not for you to use it. The spirit is ours to keep our movement, to keep in collaborating with our emotions,
Right.
to nervous system and everything. Everything that goes inside our body is because of our spirit.
Yes. And we'll go over the
The
spirit too,
life,
but
life essence, and everything. And everything that is decided is in collaboration between the soul and the free will. Free will makes a lots of decisions, and the soul kind of have to accept it if they're honest. The
yeah,
decisions are honest, the soul will have to accept it. It's
feels a lot of sense to me.
feel sense. Okay, good. It's just,
Yes.
and I want all this information to give it out there, and everybody. It's not easy. It's 63 components plus another 16 elements of the soul. It's how you're gonna constantly look at yourself, like observing ego, observing yourself, and just work with these ethical things from your awareness.
Well, it's a learning process, a continuous learning process to find all the different ways these work together and how they should be harmonized. And so it's a never ending learning process about ourselves, really, and about how everything else works in the process because it's all intertwined with everything. It's all connected.
I'm sorry.
But
Sorry. And of course, when you're gonna be so honest within your soul, is you're gonna get hurt. People are not as honest as you are, so you're gonna get hurt. And yeah, I think my phone is ringing.
yeah,
Uh, uh,
somewhere.
yeah, so you're gonna get hurt, and that's not good. You're gonna feel like you shouldn't be honest anymore. But through my life, whatever, since I learned all this, I kept on being honest. I've been hurt. I overlooked it. So be it. So what?
It's
I'm
about
still
that.
gonna be honest
It's
regardless.
about that core knowing in yourself of knowing I have to be honest about this. I have to be patient. I have to be aware. Have to be generous. I need to be more forgiving. I need to be compassionate. All those. I know they're not needs, but
No, I
but
understand.
you
That's
know
just
what I
a
mean.
matter of speech.
Yeah,
But everybody knows when they're honest in deep inside their soul.
yeah.
Everybody knows.
You can feel it.
Yeah, and they go around it, or you know, they're not gonna let all out, or
Well, that's
they're
why
not.
that's why the polygraph has all those sensors to detect if someone's lying. I mean, but I think we're back to a point now where we can all feel that, especially if we're in tune with ourselves and already understand that harmonization within, then we can feel other people's intentions, other people's honesty or dishonesty a lot faster than maybe we used to.
And especially if you practice compassion a lot, that gonna they're gonna generate that strong feeling of empathy.
Hmm.
So you're gonna feel people because you constantly are you're having that compassion. It's like the Green Miles, that movie.
Yeah.
That compassion is like you feel people,
Yeah.
so they
When
can't
he
lie no more
when he was like,
because you feel them. You know
I
exactly what.
can't do this anymore, Bobs.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
That was
the
cute.
Green Mile.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, you got all your stuff.
I yeah, we got everything we need to get. I mean, we're just keep on doing and repeating the same thing pretty much
I
until
know.
you know finish it up with all the body, the spirit, the mind,
Yeah, so
emotion, and ego.
we have the soul, we have our free will, we have our physical body, we have our emotions, we have our spirit and our mind and our ego. um, and those are all incorporated into our entire body. So we're breaking down. We've gone through the soul the last 2 weeks. Today we went through the free will. Next week we will go through the physical body. Then we'll follow up with the emotions, the spirit, the mind, and the ego individually on different weeks, just so that we can break them down. Um, you know, go through any other questions or comments or ideas that people may have so we can explain those as best as possible. Like I said before, this is a growing process for all of us. We're all learning together and learning more about ourselves, and it's a continuous process. And I think it's fun to do it in a group effort. So thank you all for joining today,
Thank
and
you.
we will see you next week for the physical body, and we look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it very
Thank you so
much.
much,
And
Christina, too.
thank you, Mister, for the
Thank you,
question.
Mister.
You're welcome.
Y'all have
Thank
a
you.
good night.
Bye.